I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
Well, 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 Mr. 34 count convicted felon president himself has been given pardon power. And look at what he's doing with it. Those who voted for him claim that they were voting so he can get the criminals out of America. But what you really meant was you want to allow him the power to let the criminals out of American prisons onto American streets, which is what he's doing. We know he started with the January 6th savages who beat police officers on January 6th on Capitol Hill. Now he's getting around to some of the other small points. We don't know if this is about money or anything. Like you heard this lady say, she wants her president to be strong and manly and about it, sounding like a person that's from the hood with that about it. Well, yeah, your president is about it, and maybe that's what you admire about him, his criminality. And maybe that's why his vote in your community with 18% of them went in his favor, because they admire him pardoning these celebrities and the criminals, which is seriously sad. Says everything about his supporters. We're going to take a look at some of these pardons this lawless president has done, and we'll talk about it.
Let's stay in Washington, Craig, and breaking overnight from the Justice Department. Federal investigators are looking into a potential bribery scheme involving presidential pardons. The investigation was revealed in newly unsealed court documents. NBC's chief White House correspondent Hallie Jackson's on that story for us. Hallie, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. We're talking about a potential pay-for-pardon scheme. With those documents you referenced showing federal investigators are looking into whether someone offered a substantial political contribution in exchange for a presidential pardon, or, as the documents put it, a reprieve of sentence for somebody else. It's not clear who's involved, no names, since these documents are so heavily redacted. They also don't say whether anyone in the White House knew about the alleged scheme. President Trump overnight is tweeting about this, saying the pardon investigation is fake news, and a Justice Department official tells NBC no government official was or is a subject or target of the investigation that we're talking about here, Savannah.
Okay.
See that? That was from Trump's first term. This pardon criminality has been going on since his first term. You hear that? Trump supporters, Trump voters, MAGA, Black MAGA. That's what you voted for. You knew that this was going on, and you still went in that booth and voted for this criminal. So stop saying that you wanted to get the illegals out of this country because they were committing crimes, when you're sitting back right now supporting him releasing criminals from prisons onto our streets. He said out of his mouth that he was considering selling pardons at the end of his last term. You don't think that he's following through on that with all of the other criminal activity that he's following through on now as president in his first 120 days? This is what you voted into office. You're responsible for the criminality of this country. But wait, there's more.
Just into the Fox 13 newsroom, Louisiana rap artist NBA Youngboy says he's been pardoned by President Trump after being sentenced by a Utah judge to 2 years in federal prison on gun-related charges last November. The rapper, whose real name is Kentrell Gaulden, announced on social media he is among several people pardoned by the president this week. Last year, Gaulden acknowledged having possessed weapons despite being a convicted felon. He reached an agreement to resolve all state charges against him and pleaded guilty to 2 federal charges.
There you go, Black MAGA. That's the bone you've been looking for, right? A criminal pardoned don't have to serve out his term like the rest of the people who can get convicted or plead guilty because they know they are guilty. This lawless president will let you out of prison. He's doing that to throw you a bone after removing Jackie Robinson and some of the other black famous people from the walls of the White House, trying to erase our history by banning books, by banning videos at the Air Force of the Tuskegee Airmen and their participation in World War II. Yeah, but he's gonna throw you a bone. I'm gonna let one of your rappers out of prison just to show you that I care about you, and you sit around and believe that. But next up, we're gonna look at the Kash Patel FBI director and his role in some of this. It's all about criminality. It's all about wrongdoing. Can't believe how some of you people are okay with this and turn around and talking about you want to get the Latinos out of the country because they're criminals. But you know what, Latinos, you brought that on yourself because you voted for this as well. Nobody feeling sorry for you. Let's listen to Sheldon Whitehouse and what he had to say about this with Kash Patel, the FBI director.
Thanks, Chairman. Welcome, Mr. Patel. I remember January 6th. Colleagues running through our halls to flee the mob, colleagues shouting that rioters should be shot, us returning to our constitutional business through hallways cleared for us by automatic weapons carrying SWAT teams. None of you, none of us, said those violent rioters should be pardoned. A Republican colleague said such pardons would be hard to believe, even absurd. Your former colleague, J.D. Vance, said the violent rioters should not be pardoned. Even Jim Jordan said pardons would, and I quote, focus on all the people who didn't commit any violence. Well, Trump pardoned all of them.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse experienced it firsthand. He was there on Capitol Hill when those savages broke into the Capitol, trying to kill them. But guess what? Donald Trump pardoned them all. Not one nonviolent criminal who was wrongly convicted. No, they were convicted in a court of law. Most of them in trial. A lot of them pleaded guilty to their crimes. But they were all pardoned by this lawless president. This is what you guys support. This is what you voted for because you knew he was going to do this. He was talking about it on the campaign trail, but you could care less about these streets being safe. Only when it's the Mexicans and the blacks, you want them off the streets. But these mostly white racist militia who attacked the Capitol, you're okay with them being flooded onto the streets by this criminal president. Next up, we got some rich folks that's going to be important. Todd and Julie Crisley, the reality show stars. What they had, like 18 or 19 years for tax fraud? I thought you were about taking away tax fraud and abuse, waste, fraud, and abuse off the streets. No, you're not about that. You're about letting them out onto the streets. So next up, we'll look at that real quick, and then we'll finish this video up real soon.
Two reality TV stars will soon be free after being pardoned by President Trump. The president giving a full pardon to Todd and Julie Crisley, known for their hit reality show Crisley Knows Best. They were convicted of federal fraud back in 2022. They still had several years left on their prison sentences.
Trump wants us all to know that those prisons are not made for rich people. Those prisons were built for one type of person, poor people, minorities. Going to be sure to get those rich people out of there. Although they commit crimes just like everyone else, we can't have them serving prison time. There's even some talk about pardoning Derek Chauvin, the criminal police officer convicted in George Floyd's death. A death that the world saw with their own eyes. There's some talk from MAGA Republicans about pardoning Derek Chauvin. Let that sink in. I'm going to leave you guys with the January 6th savages attacking the Capitol Hill, going after our lawmakers, trying to kill them. They set up gallows outside. I just want to leave you with this because I want you to realize the type of people that Donald Trump has pardoned and let onto our streets. If you can watch this video and claim to yourself that these people deserve to be pardoned and let out onto the streets after serving their time, something is seriously wrong with your thinking. So I'll play this video and we'll close it out here. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Give it a like so it can reach some other people. Subscribe to the channel, and we will be back with you soon. Thanks a lot.
We're going to give riot warnings. We're going to try to get compliance, but this is now effectively a riot.
49 hours declaring it a riot.
5 to 50, be advised, Capitol Police 1 advised they're trying to breach and get to the Capitol.
We have a breach of the Capitol! Breach of the Capitol! We need to hold the doors of the Capitol. I need court support. We lost the line. We lost the line. All MPDs get back! All MPDs get back up to the upper deck! All MPDs get back to the upper deck!
They were peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love, the love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
I ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you.